Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. I'm Nick. Today it's part 2 of the Record Store Day Black Friday deep dive list. I get to 25 or so albums that we're going over for Record Store Day Black Friday. I did 12, I think it was 12 in the first video. Make sure you go back and check that one out if you haven't watched it yet. I'll put a link up above if you haven't seen that yet, but make sure you check that out. And I got a bunch of other stuff we're going to talk about. Really excited for Record Store Day Black Friday. I shouldn't say I'm really excited. I think it's an okay list. I know there's a lot of people out there that are really excited about it, though. But let's get into that list. There's a bunch of links down below. Make sure you go check them all out. There's links for the Vinyl Den Facebook group, for our merch page. There's also links for the Spotify and Apple Music playlist that we put together every week, and also our Patreon page. Make sure you go check all that out. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I release new episodes. This next one is one that I initially wasn't really going to talk about. There are some people I think that are really interested in it, so I was going to kind of throw it out. Plus, it's on a really interesting color. At least it sounds like it's going to be an interesting color, and I'm a big fan of colored records. But this is Papa Roach Ego Trip. This is the RSD first. There's going to be 3,000 copies of this that are going to be available. This is a Papa Roach's album that came out earlier this year. I think I've only listened to maybe I think that very first Papa Roach album is the only thing I ever listened to, at least the one that got really big. It's going to run you $35. This is on blue seafoam wave vinyl, which sounds kind of cool. And it comes with a yellow 7-inch. So, it's definitely one that, I'll probably stream it. I'm sure I won't pick that one up for Record Store Day, but I do see some people talking about that. And then you got the Red Hot Chili Peppers Return of the Dream Canteen. That's their new album that's coming out. I think it comes out, obviously, before Record Store Day. I think it comes out, we're in September now. I think it comes out in October. I think is when their new album comes out. But this is a RSD exclusive. There's only 5,000 copies available. It's a double LP. And I think they did the same thing with their last album that came out earlier this year. They released an exclusive version for Record Store Day. This is going to run you $50. The interesting thing about this, it's listed as silver vinyl with a silver cover, but then I've also seen a pink vinyl version of it also. So I'm not sure if they're releasing two different versions of it for Record Store Day. It's it's one of those albums that I did the same thing with Unlimited Love when it was released. I'm gonna wait to stream it first, even though I think Unlimited Love kind of has grown on me over the course of the last couple of months. But I'll definitely stream that one and check it out before I buy it. There always tends to be one of those fun kind of interesting albums that I always pick up for Record Store Day. I know a couple years ago it was the Baby Shark 7-inch that I picked up. This year you get ROCKABYE Baby, lullaby renditions of Blink-182, which, obviously I'm a big Blink-182 fan, so of course I was going to pick that one up. This is a RSD first. 1,800 copies of this are going to be available. It's going to run you $26. It's one of those kind of fun, I think, interesting kind of things that I'm sure it's a waste of money. How many times are you really going to listen to it? But it's Blink-182, so I definitely got to grab that one. And then Silverstein, Arrivals and Departures, which this is an album that I'm not really all that familiar with, but a lot of people seem to be talking about it. I think this is going to be your big mover for Record Store Day. It's a RSD first. About 4,000 copies are going to be available. This is on green marble vinyl. Comes with a 7-inch with 2 tracks that were only on the deluxe CD. So if you're a fan of this album, it's definitely a cool one to grab. It's going to $38, and it's the 15th anniversary release. So I think that's they're kind of celebrating the anniversary of that album. One album that's definitely on my to-have list. I'm sure it's on a lot of people's out there. This is Smash Mouth Fu Shu Mang. This is our RSD first. There's only 3,000 copies of this are going to be pressed or released for Record Store Day. And this is their debut album from '97. It's on neon green vinyl. It's going to run you about $29. It's a fantastic album, man. It's the only Smash Mouth album I think I've ever really listened to. I will say my wife actually saw them on this tour after this album came out. And it said that they were so drunk on stage it was one of the worst shows she'd ever seen. But fantastic album. I really, like I said, I think that's going to be 3,000 copies. I think it's going to go pretty quick. And then you got The Cure, Wish. This is a RSD exclusive. A little over 11,000 copies of this are going to be available on vinyl. It's going to run you $40. It's a fantastic album. It's probably my favorite album by The Cure. My problem with this is it's a picture disc. Obviously every year the Cure does these picture disc releases. I will say at least they are releasing this also as a standard album within the next month. I think it's before Record Store Day, Black Friday. I think is when Wish comes out. Like I said, fantastic album. If you're not familiar with it, definitely make sure you check it out. The Doors always seem to kind of do something for Record Store Day, whether it's the the Soft Parade Stripped, I think is what they did a couple of years ago. I think they've done, I think they had an LA Woman release earlier this year. It was like the extras that were part of the box set. But for Record Store Day Black Friday, they're doing Paris Blues. This is a RSD exclusive. 10,000 copies of this are going to be available, and this is a collection of live blues tracks from across their career. It does have a never before released track called Paris Blues, and the cool thing is about this release, first off, it's only be $25, which I think is a great price. The artwork on this album is done by Robbie Krieger, their guitar player, so definitely a cool release. And then for you Grateful Dead fans out there, the Grateful Dead always do something great for Record Store Day. This is Wembley Empire Pool, London, England, from 1972. This is the first show from that 72 tour. At least I'm pretty sure it was the first show. This is a RSD exclusive. It's a 5-album set. 7,500 copies are going to be available. This is the first time it's ever been available on vinyl. It's going to run you $125, which, if you're a Grateful Dead fan, you're kind of used to paying those higher prices for these RSD releases. But that's why I think it's going to be fantastic. Even though it is kind of pricey, $125, I think it's going to be a great set to have. This next one is one I was a little surprised to even see on the Record Store Day list. This is the Monkees, More the Monkees. This is the RSD first. 2,000 copies of this is going to be available. It's going to run you $37. I don't see anything different from this than what the reissue that came out earlier this year is. It's even priced about the same. I actually looked at it in the record store earlier today just to double check. This was obviously a huge album. It was the first rock album to be the #1 selling album of the year. And it was #1 for 18 weeks in 1967. So it's just a huge album when it was released. It is a great album. If you're going to own anything by the Monkees, I think it's definitely a great one to have. I was also surprised by this next one. This is The Weeknd, Dawn FM. This is The Weeknd's album that came out earlier this year. RSD exclusive. There's 6,000 copies of it. It's going to run you about $40. It's another album that I don't see anything different than the one that came out earlier this year, other than it's got a different artwork on the cover of it. If you're a Weeknd fan, I think it's a good one. It is a great album, but I'm not going to drop $40 just to have an alternate cover of that album. So there always tends to be some great jazz releases for Record Store Day. I felt like that area is kind of missing on this one. I think there's a Miles Davis release. I don't think there's a Bill Evans release for Record Store Day Black Friday, but there's a Thelonious Monk album. This is the Classic Quartet. This is a RSD first. There's 3,000 copies of going to be available. It's going to run you $27. I'm not familiar with this release, but I love Thelonious Monk. Definitely one of my favorite jazz musicians. And, of the albums I have from him, I've been impressed with everything. So I'm sure that's going to be another great one. And then this next one, this is Watchmen original soundtrack. This is supposed to come out Record Store Day last year. So it's got pushed back a whole year. This is a RSD exclusive. There's going to be 7,000 copies available. It's going to run you $50. It's a great soundtrack. And actually, I think it was supposed to be Record Store Day last year. And then I think it got pushed back to Record Store Day Black Friday last year. And then it got pushed. I think it was supposed to be Record Store Day back in April. And then it never came out. So I think people have been waiting like a year and a half for this album to come out. And this was on Dr. Manhattan Blue vinyl. So it's definitely a cool one. It's a great soundtrack, like I said. Definitely a cool one. And then this last one is one that is music related, but it's not a vinyl record or a CD or anything like that. This is Nightclubbing, the Birth of Punk Rock in New York City. This is a RSD at first, so this will get reissued again down the line. 1,500 copies. This is the DVD documentary and a CD soundtrack or CD release of the soundtrack. And this is the first documentary about the famous Max's Kansas City in New York City, kind of like one of the birthplaces of the punk rock scene in New York. I think it's gonna be a great thing to watch. I didn't see a price listed online for this, but I'm sure it's probably not going to be more than $25-$30. It's definitely one that I'm definitely looking forward to that because I'm a huge punk fan, of course, you guys know, and that New York scene is something that I don't think there's been too many great documentaries made about the New York punk scene, and like I said, this is the first time that Max's Kansas City has been featured, so definitely looking forward to that one. Well, that's all I got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. I'm sure that video was probably way too long than it really should have been, but I think there is some great stuff coming out for Record Store Day. There's some stuff I'm definitely looking forward to, some stuff that I'm not really sure why it was included in Record Store Day, but I'm sure it'll probably still move pretty well. I'm definitely interested. I'm excited for Record Store Day Black Friday. We'll see if I go out and stand out in line this year. I'm not really sure yet, but drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to. A lot of great stuff. But if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me the old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. And that's all I got. Until next time, keep on spinning. Peace.